Hello everyone, this is Aman, your Azure Data Factory trainer from Uplatz Technologies. Now, in today's lecture, we will be understanding, we will be logging our Azure Data Factory, and we will be looking into components of Azure Data Factory. Okay, so first I will be giving you a small brief around of what we have understood till now, and then we will be covering all the topics. So, so two. We have understand that we have a data. We have a data here. Data coming from different sources. Okay. Now we are taking this data and performing ETL or ELT, and then we are keeping this data in some. Then we are keeping this data in some storage or data warehouse, and then we are utilizing it for different purpose like for machine learning or data scientist or analytics. Okay, now here we can see this is a source and this is a target. This we have understood. Now we have to bring the data from this source to this target. So this is our main agenda. How we will bring the data so it can become uh, very easy for us to analyze or perform our task. Okay, now if you see here, we are getting the data in files in databases. And what are different type of data we are getting? We are getting a structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Okay, this we have understood till this far. Okay, now what we will do, we will log in into our Azure account. Okay, to log in into this, we need there is three requirement. So first we need our details. Second, we will be needing our some payment method and like credit card or debit card. Here, first thing you have to do is go on azure.com. So let me go there and we will be looking into our uh, screen. So this is, I have already logged in. So you should just write azure.com. When you write it, you will come at this, you will get this portal. Now you can click on get started with Azure, and here you are getting two options, pay as you go and try Azure for free. So in Azure for free, like it will give you some amount of, for Azure for free, like Azure for free, it will give you some around of like 15,000 of credits, 15 rupees 15 credits. It is according to IST, means India. And sometimes it gives us like USD dollars according to the region it is, and it charges the credits into vouchers. or you can see some credit points. So when you pay some amount like 15K, it will convert it into credit points, and whatever the services you will use, it will be keep keep cutting. Like initially I get some 20,000 credits, so I have used some services. In that case, what it will do, it will reduce some like 19,050 credits are there for me. Okay, so this it will be deducting. Okay, now what we will do, clear this page. So we are on our portal. Here when you come here, we do not want to chat. When you come here, try Azure for free. You can click, and here it will give you a sign up, like you can see. So I have already signed up. Okay, so here I have already signed up. So what I will do, I will take a incognito. Now you can see. You can write azure.com. Okay, and go get started with Azure. Try Azure for free. Okay, so if you do not have anything, so you can go and create one. Okay, here you will put your mail address, any mail address we can put, and then we can proceed. It will give some like some it will ask you some initial details, like what is the name, address, which your company works, or why we are using this uh, Gmail. This, let me go there. So it will give you next. So it will take your account. Okay, so it will take your account, and then it will be done. So suppose you logged into our Azure Data Factory, and you will be landing on this page. So I am on not on this page. I will be landing on. Okay, you'll be getting this type of page of services. Okay, you will be getting all these type of pages. Now we will be going through a small mm, a small introduction of with this uh, with this all the things, and then we will be uh, going through ADF components. Okay, so suppose you logged in, and you will get this. You will get this. Okay, now log in, and you will get this. Here is there are some tools according to the requirement, like big data processing tools are there. In big data we have analysis services, Apache Airflow, Astro Azure, native ISV service, data factories, data lake analytics. So you can scroll down, data lake storage gen 1, Azure Databricks, HD Insights. This type of services are there. Can scroll down. So some data exploration services are there, data share invitation, Power BI embed, data shares, some real-time analytics are there. Let's see, Synapse, Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Synapse, this stream analytics, compute here in categories. You can see that what are different services if you want to have. Like for analytics, these are the services. For compute, we have availability infrastructure as service. This we have discussed. What is infrastructure as service? As we are taking only infrastructure from the service provider, and we are using our own platform and software. On we are hosting the softwares and platforms on that service, on that infrastructure. So this is infrastructure as service, host groups, lab accounts, proximity. These are some infrastructure service. Now containers are there. So there are different container instances, container registries, container management, Kubernetes, Kubernetes service, automatic Kubernetes service. So here there are containerized applications. databases are there. This we have studied Azure Cosmos DB, Azure Database for Postgres, Flexible Azure Database, Hyperscale, vCore, Azure Database for MySQL. These are some Oracle database, SQL database, SQL managed instances, SQL virtual machines. So these are some. There are 90 databases services which, which is provided by our Azure. Then we have a DevOps, Chaos Studio, Azure development deployment environments, Development Center, Azure DevOps organization, GitHub. These are the DevOps. Some general ones are there. All resources, dashboard, hub, deploy, custom template management groups. Mark here in your left side when you will what is when you log in here, you can go. This is a handbox. This will have you some quick services. Okay, and there will overall uh, there will be overall services what are available. Now we have a hybrid and multi-cloud. In hybrid, as we know, uh, there are some services which are private as well as in public. So this is hybrid multi-cloud managements. So here we are in multi-cloud managements. We are taking some services from Google. Some services are like different cloud service provider, and then it is a hybrid. Hybrid we know public, private, or hybrid. Public is for all everyone, and private is for only a specific persons and according to a requirement. And hybrid is mixture of both. So Azure ARC private link scope. So these are the some services. Identity integration services are there. Integration are basically used only to integrate the different objects systems in our Azure. Then IoT management and governance migration. If you want to have some database migration from one system, like nowadays we have moved into on-cloud services. So if you have to migrate the data from our on-prem to Azure cloud, that type of like data migration activities can be taken here. Here is a mixed reality. There are many things. If you explore it, it will be take you some more time. So we will be focusing on throughout the course with the Azure Data Factory, and let's start on this. Okay. So to be there, let me come into our slides. Now, as we have studied, to move data from source to destination. This thing we are doing. Okay. Now, if you see, and to move the data from source to destination, we are using Azure Data Factory. This we are using Azure Data Factory services. Now, if you see, there are some 7. There are, let me change the color. Some extra. There are 7 top Azure Data Factory components. 7. Okay. So this we will be reading one by one. Okay. So let us begin our topic. So, okay, just a minute. Just a minute. So we'll be bringing our topic. So let's come on next slide. Okay, components of Azure Data Factory. If you will understand this basic pipelines, what is pipeline, what is activities, what is linked services, data flows, triggers, integration runtime, then in that case it will be easier for us to go through. Okay, now let us begin the content. Okay, so first is pipeline. Okay, so what is pipeline? This is one of the basic question. So what is pipeline? In day-to-day life, day life, what is pipeline? So pipeline is like, suppose in my society, like in my society, there is a water tank. This is our water tank. This is staying. Nowadays, like they have a very different new style of water tanks. So this is our water tank, society water tank, and this is my flat. Okay, let us take some is it a bit. So this is my flat. Now this is a source. This is a destination. Now I have to move the water from this water tank to my flat. How you can do? It can be only achieved. Can be only achieved. It can be only achieved through pipeline. So basically, what is it saying? It is saying that whenever we have to move, whenever we have to move, like okay, okay. Whenever we have to move some materials or services from one location to another. In that case, pipeline is created. So what is a pipeline? Uh, pipeline is the process some through which some sort of services can be flown from one place to another place. So as the example we have given, like our water tank and flat. So this is the example of pipeline. Now in our ADF, what is pipeline and what is activity? This will be understanding. So what is pipeline? Pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that perform a specific task. Okay, it is a logical grouping of activities, like it is a grouping of activities that performs a specific task. For a specific task, to perform a specific task, we are creating a pipeline, and it helps in data movement, as like the example I've shown you, like water tank and our flat. So in this, what we are doing, we are transferring the water from one location to another location. So similarly, with the help of pipeline, it will help you to create a data movements transformations, and processing in a sequential or parallel manner. If you want to do anything, some sequence, like uh, to be, I can give you an example. Parallel manner and sequential. Suppose so in sequential, and parallel manner. So what does it mean? Suppose in water from water tank, I want to bring the water from into flat. Now in flat, I want this is a flat one, this is a flat two. So parallelly, it is giving the water to two different flats. Okay, so this is a parallel manner. So we can create multiple pipelines in our Azure Data Factory. So to be like, I hope pipelines, you can understand that pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that can perform a specific task. Now it is a this is a pipeline. Suppose this is a pipeline. Let me, I think I am this page. So here in ADF, the pipeline can be, this is a pipeline. Okay, and this is source, and this is a destination. Now here we have a some group of activities like activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. So whenever pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that perform a specific task, it helps in data movement, transformation, and processing in a sequential or parallel manner. Example, a pipeline, we can say, a pipeline may include activities like extracting the data from on-premise SQL server, transforming it to Azure Data Lake, and loading into Azure Synapse Analytics. So it is saying, first we will be understanding what is activity. So we can it will be very helpful to understand. So first let us understand, then we will combine and understand what is pipeline and activities. So here, so let us understand activities. Activities are the steps within a pipeline. They can define what actions to be performed on a data. There are three main types of activities. So activities are steps in the pipeline. Suppose I created this is a destination, and oh sorry, this is a source and this is a destination. Now group of activities are known as pipeline. Suppose this is activity 1, this is activity 2, and this is activity 3. So here activities are the steps within a pipeline. So this was a pipeline, this is a pipeline, and within this we have a activities. We have this activity 1, activity 2, activity 3, and that is what it means. They define what actions to be performed on data. What are the type of actions we want to perform the data. So this is basically activity. What is activity? Activity means what are the actions, sorry, let us, this page, we'll take some light colors and then we'll move. So activity means actions to be performed on the data, and group of activities to be performed, logical groups, is called pipeline. Okay, so these two definitions are interrelated. An activity, you can also say activity is basic unit of pipeline. Without activity, we cannot have pipeline. So what is the use to have a pipeline without activity? Don't have to perform anything. Now there are three different types of activity. Data movement activities used for copying data between different data to stores. So if I want to different data stores, suppose I want to move the data from my on-prem, this is on-prem, and this is I want to move in AWS 3. So in that case, I have to run copy activity. I'll create a pipeline, and in that pipeline I'll put it a copy activity I will give. So there is a three types of activities. One is copy activity. Copy activity moves the data between sources, SQL, Blob Storage, Data Lake, and Azure S. Like there are many sources. If there are two sources, and I have to copy the data from one source into another source, in that case, it will be called as copy activity. Now there are second one, data transformation activities. Suppose this is source. Now you will be understand. This is destination. Now I am bringing the data from different sources, and then we are performing transformations. So this is known as data transformation activity. So on this source, that there will be some transformation in their data flow. So used for processing transforming data. So whatever the data which we are following through the pipeline, it will be processed. So data flow activity, some example it is given. Data flow activity performs ETL operations like filtering, aggregating, and joining data. Azure Data Factory notebooks execute a Spark-based transformation. If some transformation is there, you can perform that. A store procedure activity. Now third one is control flow activities. Like we have a set of data, and if that data is like that value is greater than 50, that case it should be processed or it should be not, should not. So there is control flow we have applied, used for workflow orchestrations and conditional logics. So this is used for workflow uh, orchestrations and conditional logic. For each activity iterates or collection of data. Like if any I want to do any repetitive thing, so it will come in control flow. If condition activity, wait activity delays, wait activity, this is one of the star marked, adds delay between pipeline executions. So this is delaying the pipeline execution. Now I will show you through the portal and how the things we can log in and perform Azure Data Factory. We'll see from portal two things, activity and pipeline. Okay, we'll see, then we'll proceed further for our next top components. Okay, so let me there. I'm already in my Azure account. So how I can do this? Let us be there. I am already there. So when you log in, you'll get this type of screen. Okay, we can skip all the things. Okay, now you are here. You can come here. We have studied. Now we can come directly on data factories. And if you are not able to find what you can write it here. Data like I have searched it. So when you write this, you can come it here. Okay. One I have already created. I will delete that. So how I can delete? Okay. Hmm. How I can delete? Okay. Okay. So we can data factories, copy title toggle fully. Okay. So there could be somewhere like I am also in, okay. So we have to delete this. We can delete this, but and right now we want to create a data factory for us. So what I did, I in the home location, I just simply search it data factories. It will show you data factory. Now you can come on create factories. Okay. So when you click there, create factories. How it works, we will see first. So okay, it is getting zoom. I should go back, go back, back. Okay. So whenever, like whenever we create Azure Data Factory. Here you can see we'll create this. So this we'll create this. So it has given us a form. It's given us some form like structure. Now you will fill this, and this will convert it into JSON file. Okay, when you fill this, it will get converted into a JSON file and it will be deployed. Okay, so we will see how it is happening. It shows us while doing. So I have just simply, again, I want to repeat, go in data factories, we'll get this option and select and delete this, but it is not modifying. So I'll keep it. Okay, now I'm not able to delete. Okay, so we want to create. So come on, create a new. We have got this. I'll just simply, this you will get automatically. You don't have to make any, you can make changes, but right now we don't have to. Now resources, I've already created a resource. If you want to create a new resource, you can create it here, create and put your resource name. Okay, so I've already created, so I'll be using that. Now instance name. Okay, instance details, we have to create a new instance, so I can put here new. Its name should be new, unique, new, and 15032025. Okay, so this is a instance we have created. Now come on next. Here, if you remove this, here in industries, what happened? You have to configure your Git through a time. Okay, so it will ask you some details like Azure DevOps account, project name, repo name, branch name, root folder. Okay, now we don't need it right now, so I'll be doing we configure Git later. Then we will be coming on networking. Just keep it whatever it has. You don't have to make any changes. Then come on advanced. We don't have to make tags. We do not have to make and create and review. So when you come here, you have to just simply create it. Here we have reviewed like subscription is Azure subscription one, resource group, data factory, new. This is the name we have given to our Azure data factory, which we will create. Region is TOS version v2. Okay, so when you create it, so here you can see initializing deployment. So what it has done, now it has converted form into JSON, and now it is deploying it on the server. Okay, so we will come here. It will take some time. So your deployment is completed. Now you can see now you can see. Okay, here deployment name is this subscription Azure. And now what you have to do, you have to go to the resources. There you will get two resources. Okay, now what we can do, so under this resource group we have a data factory. And come on this, just see what is happening. Oh, we can come, go to the resource, then this we have created. When you click this, so how I have come here, this is for overview. Like whenever you will get this open option, deployment is complete, that time click on go to resource, and then whatever the data factory which you will be created, you can click on that. It will open a new page, and here what you can do, you can click on launch studio. So here you will be getting the Azure Data Factory Studio. So this is the Azure Data Factory Studio. Now you are in Azure Data Factory. Okay, so this is our Azure Data Factory. You will navigate through this is ingest, copy data at scale once or one schedule, orchestrate, code free data, transform data, configure SSIS. Okay, here this is home button. Now here you can see here is the author. So this is for author, this is for home, this is author. Now this is for monitoring, like if a task, if pipeline I want to monitor, the pipeline should not burst out. So this is can be done. Now this is linked services. We will discuss what are linked services because in our concept it is there. And here this is learning center. Okay, so we will be moving on to our, this is our data factory name, new 50. Okay, this is the data factory. No, they have given. Now what we can come in resources, and here go on pipelines, and here we can come on new pipeline. So when you come on new pipeline, you can see the activities are inside this pipeline. So what I was meaning to say, here we were discussing that what is pipeline. So we were saying logical groupings of activities are pipelines. This we were saying, na? Pipelines, one thing. Second point was, okay, this will not take. Second point was activity is the unit or least foundational. Activity is the foundational unit of any pipeline. What? Activity is foundational unit of any pipeline. Okay. So this we saw that here inside this pipeline one, we have these activities, this number of activities. One is move and transform, Synapse, Azure Data Explorer, Azure Function, Batch Service, Dataverse, Data Lake Analytics, General, SD Insights. So these are the activities. Now, if I want to know it more better, so we can, this is the thing. Now we'll create a pipeline, we'll create activities, and then we will move forward. Okay, so we have today, we studied regarding two concepts. One is, okay, so we studied pipeline, we studied activities. Now, there is one more, I think we forgot to add, data sets. Let's discuss this data sets and then we will end the today's lecture. Data sets. So slightly I should put this side. Okay. So what is data set? A data set represents the structured data within a data store. It defines, like suppose this is a source, this is a destination. Now I have to this is Azure Azure SQL database. Now it has some data set, some data. So like it is a huge data. It is a data related to. Let me show you with an example. I have a very beautiful example. Let me show you. Cancel. We have taken a Azure SQL database. Now suppose we have data related to students. We have data related to college. We have data related to finance company. We have data related to any government department. Okay, this data. But I have to perform operation. I have to perform operations. Operations. I will take. I will say activity only on student data. In that case, the student data is a data set. So the data set on which we have to perform the activity is known as data set. Here it is saying data sets represents structured data within a data store. It defines the source or destination of a data used in activities. So whatever the data source or source and destination, these are the data sets. Like a data set can be an Azure blob storage file, SQL table, or an Amazon S3 bucket. So you can see whatever the source or destination we have, and inside that there will definitely some file. Like if I have Azure SQL database, then I have some files. On that files we have to perform some operations. So our data set will be Azure SQL database. Okay, or any file which is percent any specific file over which we have to perform the activity is known as Azure data set. Okay, so this is what is data sets. That's all for today. We will connect rest four top components, like rest four top components we will discuss tomorrow. Here I think I just a minute. Here we understood that activities comes under our pipeline. Like here you can see, sorry, here you can see this is a pipeline, and inside that pipeline there are activities. So our top is, so I wanted to make it clear more. This is source, this is destination. So inside this pipeline, this is activity one. Let's take some different colors. So this is activity one, this is activity two, and this is activity three. And pipeline is logical grouping of activities. And what are activities? Any task which will be required to perform on the data is known as activity. And what is data set? The data set is a like any specific file or database. It can be source or it can be destination over which the activity will be performed. One small thing, just last. I will not take much time. This page here in some websites or some places, some there is a source and there is a sink. The sink is nothing. This is destination. Okay, I think it sink and destination both are not different. Both are same thing. Okay, that's all for today. Thanks for watching this lecture. I hope you find the lecture helpful. And coming lecture we will be discussing about this four top components which are left. That's all. Thank you.